Oh, hey, everyone. Oh, man. Hi, everyone. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the rescue. And sorry about all the scrolling. I was looking for something. Hi. I am excited to be here. Let's see. Today is Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Yay, Wednesday. Hump day or something, I guess. That's what they call it these days. And we are here for Cricut Chat, of course. And we are on the second week, the third day or fourth day of the second week of card extravaganza. And today we are going to be doing something called Z-fold cards. Z-fold cards are exactly what they sound like. They fold in the shape of a Z. And I think almost all of these also have belly bands, but this one it's a Z fold. You see how it looks like a Z when you're holding it like this. And it's basically like a trifold card. So think of it like you're going to build it like a trifold card. And then when it opens up, you get a real like full picture of what's going on here. So this one is like an Old West theme. And you see here, there's like this thing here. Now, some of these that I'm going to show you today have sort of interesting middle pieces. Yay, happy birthday, Dawn. Have interesting middle pieces like this one. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for what they do with this middle piece, because this one that we're going to do today also a Z-fold card, this with a belly band, has this. This is a sleeping bag, and it's supposed to, I just checked, it's supposed to go in the tent. I don't know why. I'm thinking because it's a little bit of a card holder. So maybe like if you're giving somebody a gift on a gift card holder, that they would open the tent and then go into the sleeping bag and take it out. But I don't know. I kind of like that it's like open like this, but I like there's something here. So I think we can probably put it together in different ways, and we could talk about all of that today. I also wanted to tell you that, let's see, I did do, so I have I think I have 4 of these to show you. There's also like a night sky one, and there is a Cinderella with her pumpkin one too. So we're going to put all 4 of those together today. And let's see, including all the belly bands that come with it, and a couple of envelopes too, because the envelopes are essentially the same, and I do size these all about the same. And these can go in like an envelope that's like this. It's like a business envelope, and I'm going to put one together or a couple together so you can see. But this is the one from the other day. This is that pinwheel card that I've been talking about for like 2 days now. Sorry. So anyway, this one here, it was very thick. And so I thought, it seems awful thick. In fact, looks kind of like a bowl. So maybe I'll do it with this pattern paper. So I got this Natalie Milan paper. It's not paper. I'm sorry. It's vinyl. So here it is. There's one color. This is the other pattern, and there's the third pattern. So I did this in paper as a base, and then paper on this piece, and then the rest in vinyl. And it is much easier to close. And I wanted to show you what it looked like closed. Isn't that fantastic? I really love it. So I'm going to show you, if we have time, I'm going to show you how to put that together as well. So we've got a lot of cards. Yesterday we did, if you missed it, we did belly band cards or box top cards, or I don't know what you want to call them, but we did them. And then the day before that, we did pinwheel cards. Tomorrow, so today we're doing Z-fold cards. Tomorrow, we're going to do a couple of surprise inside cards. And so I'm hoping to get to that later today, but to cut everything out for later today. So let us I want to just welcome everyone. Hello, welcome. We're going to be making these awesome cards today. I hope you're all doing well. After yesterday's wind tunnel, because it was crazy wind, today in New England, we're going to be warming up to like the mid 40s, which I think is just insane and definitely a New England thing. We have a note, what is it? Like a little motto, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute. And that's exactly what's happening today. We're waiting a minute, and then the next day, boom, we went from this wind storm. I'm going to call it a storm. Yeah, because it was crazy. And to a beautiful early spring day. So I hope you're all doing well in your neck of the woods, too. So, okay. So let's us go, to our Z-fold cards, and there's actually an extra one in here, this one here, this Pow Boom Wham, because I thought it was a Z-fold card, and it turned out to be a trifold card. So I'm just going to throw it in there because I resized it and everything. And I haven't got it made up, but I did cut it out. But as I was cutting it out, I'm like, this is not a Z-fold card. So let's have a look at these and where we found them. So here is one that is, it's actually got an envelope in there. Let's move the envelope out so you can kind of see the detail. So the way the Z-fold card's made up is that there's one main piece, just moving these little pieces out. So this is the main piece, and you can't see it on the screen, but there is some scoring down so that you can fold it. And then you're given these three pieces that go, two of them go behind the card. And then the third one, this one here, goes in the front, and I'll show you how to do that. Now, with these cards, they also added these little tidbits, I don't know, these little extras. So in this case, it's her carriage, her pumpkin carriage. It's awful cute. I just didn't know what to do with it. So what I did was I just tucked it in and figured it was for your sentiment. And then here is the belly band, and here is the envelope. So, and all the other ones work kind of the same way. So what I'm going to do is start off from scratch, because that's where you'll be starting. Or, remember too that after I post the video on YouTube, I usually will come back and post the Design Space file, which is free for you. Just take it. You click on the link, it will open up your Design Space. Okay. So if you're on your computer, it'll open it up on Design Space on your computer. If you're on your iPad, it will open up Design Space on your iPad. But then what you have to do is when you click on a link, you have to, go and save it as your own. If you don't save it as your own, then you won't have it there as my projects. Okay. So that's good to know, for anytime somebody gives you a Cricut Design Space file. That's different. Remember, this file that I give you is different from an SVG. An SVG is actually a file or a folder that needs to be uploaded. This does not need to be uploaded. It's just a quick link into Design Space that you would then save to your local application. Okay. So we're going to go to image sets, and we've talked about this before. I go from the image search engine to image sets, and we're going back to the crazy cool, crazy cards and to do these. But there's also a couple of Z-fold cards that have snuck in here. I was supposed to look for them yesterday, but I didn't. But there's a couple for Father's Day that hopefully we can find a little later. Okay, so under crazy cool cards, I'm going to just point at the ones. This one here is one. It's like a skyline. And this one here is that Old West, or I think it's the Old West thing. And then here is our, it doesn't look like it, but when you get close up, it looks like Cinderella. And then if we go to crazy cute cards, here is where you will find the camping one. Okay. And also I'm trying to think. Yeah. And that's the camping one. As for the pinwheel one that I'm talking about, that one is actually this one here. It doesn't show the inside, but it's really clever. So I'm going to pull that in just to show you what I did to cut it out of the vinyl, because I did make some changes to it. All right, so let us just look at these, and this is what I do. This is pretty simple to understand too, okay? So they come in at like maybe 8 inches, and remember, and I'm talking width, but remember that also includes the envelope. So if you really want to make this true size and figure out what the true size of it is, you're going to have to pile them up, and you can do the size from there. So here what I do is I ungroup it. I put the envelope in the back. Some people were asking about sizing, so that's why I want to talk about the sizing just a little bit. Okay, so I'm just sort of packing them all together. And then when I group them together, this gives me a more accurate representation of the size of the card. So in this case, once I do all of that, it's 4 inches. Well, 4 inches is a tiny card, especially a card that needs to get folded 3 ways. That's just not going to work out because it'll be like an inch wide. We don't want that. So we're going to then resize the entire card, because that's why we group it. And I like these sort of big. They come in sort of like the size of a business envelope, okay? And the way that I've been sizing them is I've just been sizing them at 10.5 inches wide. Now, once you group it, when you resize it, all the pieces should resize together. And that is what happens, right? So then when we ungroup it, you can just see these are all the pieces. So there's like a belt, and this part is the end or the tongue of the belt. And then you see there's this piece that's supposed to look like, a weathered bulletin or something like that. And I thought it looked good here. And then here in back is my envelope, and here is my main piece, and those 3 other pieces. They're both, all 3 are showing in the background, but what I like about this is see how this one is slightly different. And so you can see it like gives the look of there's multiple buildings there. Really clever card. I'm not sure who I would send it to, but if I had a little boy that was really into the Old West, or maybe even a dad or somebody that was into, or a friend, a man friend, I don't know. I'm not really, it's not my style card, but it sure is cute. Okay. So that is what you do, and you cut it out. And there's a little bit of scoring, but to be honest, there's really just a tiny bit of scoring for the envelope, for the belt, and then here and here. So I actually just used my stylus for that, okay? And I did do the suggested colors on most all of these cards. And the same holds true for this one, which is let me make it bigger. Hold on. So group this and move it over. Okay, let's just make it bigger. So here it comes with an envelope, ungroup it, and then sort of pile it up. arrange, send to the back so you can see what you're doing. And then we've got our pieces for the pumpkin, and then maybe move the belly band down if we wanted to. Then regroup and resize. Okay, so resize, and I'm looking up here on the width. Really only have to look at one of the measurements. Now, someone, I think it's Annette, has been doing and has been mentioning about envelopes and sizing. When it comes with an envelope, as long as you're sizing the envelope with the card, then you don't have to worry about sizing the envelope, right? But if, for instance, you wanted to make an envelope sort of after the fact, or this one didn't come with an envelope or something like that, how do you figure out what the envelope size should be? So in this particular case, let's just say we found this envelope and we want to create it so that it fits this. Now, what I usually do with that is I make sure that the width and the width and the height are similar, and I use the grid lines here. So for me, I see that this card envelope, I'm going to measure with my eyeball from here to here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 inches tall. And then I can do also the width going across like this. Now, Annette is very, I think she trained to be an architect or something, because she has a really good, clever way of doing it that, I'm sure if you followed it would work really well. But this is just how I do it with, if it comes with an envelope and I want to make the envelope, I will just pile it together and group it together and then resize it. If it doesn't come with an envelope, then you can bring any old envelope in and then size it to your card by using where the scoring is showing. I hope that helps. Okay. So, let's see. Let's talk about this since we're not really on the subject, but I want to show you this because I've been talking about this card for like 3 days. Okay. So anyway, these other ones, they're the same idea as far as the Zvolt cards, and we're going to put them together, so don't worry about that. So this is the Pinwheel card that we were working on Monday, and that's the one that I told you when I cut it out in paper, it was really, really thick. So what I decided to do, I'm just going to get rid of the envelope for this. So what I decided to do was to make these pieces, I'm going to take it apart for you. So this consists of, remember, we've got our main piece. This piece I'm going to make in paper because it's the base of it. And then I made this one, I cut out this piece and this piece in paper as well because I wanted to have something to write on. And I didn't feel like I could write on vinyl. But the rest of these pieces that go here on the inside, I decided I was going to cut them out in vinyl, patterned vinyl, because I had a lot of that, and it's thinner. The same with this and with this. Now, these all have score lines on them. So I wanted to show you just how to take away the score lines. I don't think that they're necessary. I mean, I think that it would work on a vinyl, but I don't really think score lines are terribly necessary, and I didn't use them. So I wanted to show you how to unhinge them, to get rid of them. And it's simply a detaching. Okay. So by detaching, it actually brings away there's all the score line because it's all in one piece, you see? And if I make a mistake, or I'm going to tell you another little tidbit. So if I made a mistake, or I want to somehow edit this piece, for instance, for contouring, I have to detach. So if you like the idea of contouring, make sure, and you want to do it, make sure that you do detach, because let me show you when you reattach it. and that's also a thing. So I'm going to grab those two, and then I'm going to choose attach. But once you're looking at this image, if you were saying, oh, but I want to break this down like Rita does so I can save some material, and you look at the image and you're like, how do I do that? Well, because when you look down here, you cannot see that contour is available. Well, that's because you have to detach this image, and then you can go ahead and just work on contouring this piece. Okay. So in this particular case, if you were going to cut it out in regular paper and you wanted to do the scoring, this is what you would do. Then you would just isolate one, and then you can then go and put this together again. Now, it will cause a problem here because of the attaching with the scoring. So you can actually go in and unscore and change that. Let me just go here and contour as well. Okay, just like this. All right. It's a lot of work for saving yourself a little bit of paper, but so you have to decide, is it worth it for you? So let's just go back, and I want to get all my petals back. Okay. So what I did here, because I wanted to cut this in vinyl, was I detached and took away the scoring. I'm going to do the same thing for these petals as well. I don't need the scoring for these. And actually these as well, I don't need the scoring for. So I'm going to group them and detach. Wait, let's see if it did it for. I have to group it first. These ones we're not going to play with, but this one, so let's group this, and then we'll go and that's not working. Okay, I think you might have to go in, detach each one, and then take that scoring part out, and then you can just duplicate this 6 times. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then get rid of these. Okay? So this is all because I want to cut it with vinyl, and I really don't think I need scoring. So when I go to cut this out, I'm actually going to cut this out a different color than this and this. And so what you will notice here is that this style replicate, as far as the colors go, these are all the same color. So if I went to Color Sync, for this particular one, you'll see all that white right there, and we don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to choose a different color. It doesn't matter the color I'm choosing. And so I'm just choosing a different color for those because I want them to appear on another mat so that I can cut them out. So I want to cut this out in actual white cardstock. And this one here I have to change as well because I want to cut out this in patterned. So this is going to be patterned. This is going to be patterned. This is going to be patterned. And we'll just group this. And that way, all of my pieces will go on separate mats, okay? This will be the vinyl. This will be the paper. And just remember when you're cutting that you need to change the setting when you're cutting, okay? You need to change that because otherwise you will not be able to cut through on your material. So I just want to show you what I mean by this. So I'm going to hit make it. I hope it's just that one item. Yeah. Okay. So here it is on the mats. You see it's 6 separate mats. This is our main piece. This is that inside piece. This is going to be vinyl, paper, vinyl. So when you go to cut it out, you can start with either the vinyl or the paper. It's up to you. But what you do is you would choose premium vinyl because this is a premium patterned vinyl. And then I would just sort of flip through, instead of changing my my material setting, I would just go through, identify what's going to be cut out on the patterned vinyl and cut that out, then come back and do the paper and cut out that way. Okay. So that's just kind of a quick and easy way to do that. And I'm going to show you how to put that thing together as well. So let's go back. Sorry to be jumping around, but we're going back to put these together. And then at the very end, I'll show you how to put the other one together. Okay. So this is Z-fold cards. I'm going to move you down. And let us start with the easiest one. I think it's the easiest one, is the city scene. And it's kind of cute too. So let me just move it up. Okay, so here's the envelope. The envelope's very basic. It has 4 scores that make up the base of the card. And these I did size based on the size of these cards. So I think they're 10.5 inches. I think this would actually go into a regular post box without extra postage. So just kind of show you how this works. So the bigger part of the base is going to be glued here, and then this is the flap of the envelope, and you're just going to put the glue down here. I hesitate to put the glue, by the way, I hesitate to put the glue on this piece because it ends up being extra in a lot of cases, and I hope that my glue is going to open up. Where's my pen? Gosh, that happened so quickly. Okay. Where's my pen? I actually got another box of glue came in yesterday, a smaller version of this, because I wanted to order what I was suggesting from Amazon. And so it came in, and it's cute. It's a little bottle. I don't know that I'm going to use it all the time because I kind of use a lot of glue, but I liked the little bottle. And it came with these special tips, and a lot of people you'll hear mention about the tips, and I got to show you them. That's kind of the other reason why I bought it. So anyway, you do, when you're working with this glue or art glitter glue, you have to have this pin. They give you this pin, and it's stainless steel. So if you lose it, which I often do, as I just did now, you should consider putting a little tiny, I saw Aledra did this, put a little tiny magnet, like an adhesive on one side magnet, and then you can put the pin right here, because you don't want to lose the pin. If you have to use a substitute, which this is a substitute, you risk the chance of your glue turning rusty, because if you don't use the right, I just did what I said I wasn't going to do, is you rust out the glue by using like a non-stainless steel pin. And they're actually on Etsy. You can buy these pins that are so like, they're frivolous. Like, I don't know, frivolous. They have all these little frills on them so that you won't lose them. But that's just not something that I would probably spend money on, but maybe you would do, I don't know. But I like the idea of putting an adhesive one side magnet on there to keep my pin. So I think I will do that with the next time. So there's the envelope. It's pretty simple. And let's put this one together because it's easy peasy. It's only 2 colors, and very, very, basic, I would call it basic, but so much fun. All right. So here are these 3 pieces that you have. You have your base, and you have these 3 pieces, and then these little guys here are for your belly band. Okay, so what you're going to do is first you need to fold your card And so there's where the score lines are. But you're going to fold it like this. That's a valley fold. And then the second score line is a mountain fold. That's what mountain and valley, if you see that on different places. This is a valley because it makes a V. This is a mountain because it looks like a mountain. Okay, so that's how these get folded, just like this. Super simple. Then we are going to place our pieces, and so here, this one is going to go in the back, and it's going to illuminate the moon. And this one is also going to go in the back to illuminate the windows in those buildings. I also have put it on a little bit of an offset, just because I kind of like that. But you have to, you'd have to do that on purpose. Okay. But now you see, because this moves this way, you'd actually have to take and glue the middle piece to the inside of the card, which is perfect because it leaves enough space, not on black, that you can write on the card, right? And just like a miss you card or something like that. And then it would, when you fold it up, you'll see the blue peeking out of all three panels. Okay, so let's go ahead and get gluing on that real quick. Don't want to spend a whole lot of time just blah, blah, talking about glue. Okay, so we're just putting this here. You see? You see that? Okay. And then this one here, we can flip it over if we wanted to. And I see Frankie the cat has been here. And then we're going to glue a lot of hair on my projects today. Okay, so we're going to just glue here this piece. Actually, okay. And you're going to make sure that it's not going to go over the crease, you see, because you won't be able to fold it. So flip it over. And then you've got this piece. And you just need a little tiny bit of glue in and around all those little cuts. Don't use a lot. It will seep out and you'll hate yourself. No, you won't hate yourself, but you'll be like, dang, how did I do that? Ugh, it's gross. No big deal. All right, so, okay. So there is the third piece. So there you go. That's the construction of it. And mine's not fully attached, but here you go. And then the belly band is just simply these two strips of cutout. There is a little bit of a score on there. I don't think it's super necessary, but it works. So this goes on here. And then when your fingers aren't wet with glue, you can take this and just simply hold it up. You can see there's my score lines right there. And you can fold it at the score like this around the card. And then on the back, you would glue it. And you don't have to do it real tight, okay? Just glue it sort of loosely because you want whoever's receiving the card to be able to take that belly band off. And we're going to wait until it dries, but this is what that card looks like. And then they would open it up this way. So this is, I think, the easiest one. And so if you just want to try this technique, this one here, the cityscape, is it. Okay, so that's a cityscape. Let's go on to do the Cinderella one, which is, I think, the least of the second less hard. I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for. Second easiest, perhaps. Okay, same deal with Cinderella. Here's an envelope. I don't need to show you that, but here is the main piece, and there are two folds here. And what I will mention to you is that there is a fold on her skirt. So when you're folding this, make sure you come back and make sure that that little tiny bit of the skirt is folded like that. Okay. And here we go. So this is going to be folded like this. And then in a Z fold fashion comes around like this. I have these little pieces that aren't cut out. Someone is talking about on the chat, someone's talking about intricate cut setting, which I would recommend for these, maybe not the cityscape one, but for these other ones, I probably would recommend intricate cut setting. So intricate cut setting is a special setting that was added when Maker came out. And a lot of people don't know it. It's only for cardstock, okay? And so if you have cardstock, because cardstock can get sort of chewed up sometimes, and through no fault of, yours, but sometimes your cardstock, if things are really, really small, can get kind of chewed up. So in things like, for instance, these stars or some of these smaller pieces here, it's best to choose intricate cut for cardstock. And so to find it, if you have an Explorer, you need to turn your dial to custom. And from there, you would then look for you'd look for it in the cardstock grouping, or you can just type in intricate, and you will find it's called intricate cut for cardstock. I say it's cardstock for intricate cuts, but it's really called intricate cut for cardstock. Now, you can't use this for another material, but you don't actually need to. Like, a lot of people have said to me, well, why don't they have that for vinyl? And to be honest, it's not really necessary for vinyl, because vinyl is a different material. And so it's not going to be sort of pulpy, like paper can be. Especially black paper, I've noticed, can get really pulpy and cause your cuts to get really kind of ugly sort of thing, sort of chewed up kind of thing. So if you ever have an issue where you're cutting something out and it seems like it's chewing it up and you're cutting in paper, then you might want to consider using that intricate cut setting. But if you have an Explorer, you need to go to the custom setting on your dial so that you can see all the rest of those settings. And to be honest, when I'm working on my Explorer, I keep the dial on custom all the time, just simply because it's easier instead of having to get up and change that dial all the time. And I don't like to do that. Okay, did I do this right? I did. Okay, so this one goes on here. Remember, we put the two pieces on the back, the first and third piece on the back, and then the middle piece goes here. And this is where her dress, that's a corgi here. That's not a Frank here. I was talking about Frank. I shouldn't have blamed Frank. Okay. And so you see what happens here is that it gets like illuminated. And I was thinking when I made this, you could use some interesting, type of maybe glitter if you wanted to, or something like that. But I like the blue because it's Cinderella, and she wore a blue dress. Okay, so for her, there is this extra piece. It's, I'm assuming it's supposed to go here, although I didn't adhere it to that place, but these are the pieces. There's this little part that becomes her carriage wheels, and then there's a little teeny tiny piece, and I don't know where it is, but it goes here on the leaf part. So let's just put that together. I'm assuming this is so that, you know, there could be some writing on there, and or something like that. But and it's a really cute accent piece. I'm not sure if it's necessary, but it's cute, and so might as well do it because it's crazy cute, right? And so let us do it together. I think if you have a princess in your life, who among us doesn't have somebody that's a princess in their lives, this would be a great birthday card. Or even if it's just sort of, I don't know, just a fun card to send. All right. And it's not Disney, so you don't have to worry about having to pay for it. There's the other thing. Okay, so this is how it goes. I can't find that other piece here, but then it would get folded like this. Now, if you want to, you could attach this in here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Attach it, don't attach it, I don't know. But so then it folds like this, and I suppose, you know, if it was attached, it would be part of that, or it could just be here where you write on it. And then the belly band is simply a shoe, because that's the shoe that she loses, right, where she meets Prince Charming. And put that onto the circle part of the belly band. Put it on correctly because I didn't. Okay, so there's our inside piece. And the way this one works is it folds like this and goes underneath. Don't glue it on too tightly. You want to be able to get it off. Okay. And there is our Cinderella, or the fairy princess. I don't even know if I can say Cinderella. Okay, and there's the belly band. Okay, next up is, I'm sorry if I'm rushing through these, but these are pretty quick. They go together pretty quickly, so they're not. Oh, I found the piece for the other thing. Okay, all right. So I'll put that on. Let's put that on just so you can see the final process and somebody on YouTube doesn't yell at me. Okay, so here we go. All right, so this little teeny tiny piece, that is the stem and the leaf of the pumpkin. You see? And fold it back up and put the belly band on. Let's do the country, western, or I don't know. I guess it's a western, old west, wild, wild west. I love this one for an idea for like a barbecue, or for like some outdoorsy themed thing. So here it is, our main piece. And it's just really clever the way that it's cut out. So this is the piece. We're going to fold it like that, just like a Z, like we did. Oh, you'd be surprised who yells at me on YouTube. People on YouTube can be a little bit mean, a lot meaner than on Facebook, but whatever. Okay, so there's the three, and that's the way it's going to go. And then here's our three pieces. So this one is the larger piece, and it is going to go here on the back. And look at how it just really offsets that sun. I love it. And then this little piece here, it goes on the end. Make sure all the things are cut out. This I definitely would cut on intricate cut, okay? And then when you put it on in there on the back, you'll see that the other extra house comes up. I like that. So we're going to flip it over and put those pieces on. And here's where you have to get a little bit clever with your glue. Don't put a lot on, but simply just put in all those little places that sort of might lift up, like right here, these little tiny bits. We're going to put little teeny dots on there because we don't want them to lift up from our card. But again, not a lot. I'm just putting a very tiny bead. I'm barely squeezing my glue. If you don't normally tune in, tuning in today, you're new. This glue that I use, I always mention it, it's called Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. You can buy it in a bundle that has this refill, or you can buy it just one of these, like or actually smaller. So, and it's good stuff, and it doesn't freeze. And what else do I always say? It's got a precision tip, but you don't need to use this. Don't be all like, I have to get this glue that Rita recommend. I recommend it, but it doesn't mean that it's the only glue that you need to use or you can use. It's a good glue, but it's, there's a price to it. It's definitely not cheap, but I think it's economical because I don't use a lot of it all the time, so it takes a long time. Like I've been using this with the refill that I bought for $30, and I think it was $30 that I bought this whole thing, and I've been using it since the fall. So whereas when I was using other things, I was going through them every month and having to buy them, and they were expensive, like every month I would buy, like I used to use way back, I used to use these Zig memory system, the ones that I talked to you about. I don't think I have one here, but the Zig memory system ones I would use to put my cards together. Now I only use those for resticking my mats, but they can cost like $6 or $7 each, and I would go through one a month. And so if you're gonna add it up in 4 months, you'd spend the same amount as you would on the Zig. So that's how I think, but I know that makes me old-fashioned. It's the value versus the cost. So anyway, so I'm just gluing these pieces. These have a couple of special pieces that I really like, that I want to show you. Okay, so here we go. So there is the basic card, just like this, you see? And what I like about this, and I have to go back, and you're going to do it better than me because I'm rushing and I want to see, I put glue in the wrong place here. But there are these little teeny tiny pieces here that you're going to have to go back and just sort of secure down with your glue like this. And that's okay to do that. And I put extra glue on here, and I shouldn't have. But what I like about this one is, see these cutouts here and here that then they show here. Do you see that? So that cuts out. So it gives it like a lot of depth, the image. And then, of course, you've got our fancy little cactus. The barrel cactus and the sakura, or whatever that's called. Okay, so then there is this piece, really cute. You could jazz it up if you wanted to by using like a brad here, but I kind of like that it's just these open holes, and I'm going to put it here. I think this would be a perfect piece to put, like I said, join us for a barbecue, because by the time the summer rolls around, we're going to all be able to have barbecues. I'm hoping on that because, boy, we just did not have anything this past year, and I think everybody misses it. I was talking to my sister yesterday, and we're talking about Easter, and I remembered that last Easter I did nothing, but I was also sick. But normally we have a nice family dinner, and then we do eggs, and it's usually a lot of fun. And it was so sad. And I said this year, you know, now that I'm feeling better, I'm going to have Easter, even if, you know, it has to be just family and not a big dinner, but we're still going to have some fun because we have to do that for our psyche, for our brain. You have to celebrate the things you're used to celebrating, even when you're in quarantine, you know? You just have to adjust it. That's all. Okay, so I'm putting together the belly band, which is actually a belt buckle. So this would then fold like this, and it would come here. It goes around, and you would glue it together here. I'm not going to put a lot of glue, and I'm also going to avoid that little, the hole that you're going to, you know, for the belt. Okay, so that is that one. Isn't that cute? Maybe put that on your list for your barbecue this summer. So cute. Or a little boy's birthday too. Kind of cute. I don't know. Do boys like Western things anymore? My son wasn't. Well, he did like the guy from, what's that guy's name? Woody from Toy Story. So there's that. Okay, the last one of these is the camping one, and it is a little more detailed than the other one, so I want to go through it and you can decide what to do about some of the details. So here is our main piece. Again, we're going to fold it so that it is a valley fold, and then we're going to do a mount, wait, I'm sorry. I'm going to do a valley, and then, yeah, mountain fold. So this looks like a mountain. That will help you. So there's the piece. That's the way it's going to open up. And then we have these pieces of trees. 1, 2, 3. And then, just want to show you. Then we have these pieces that become the what is that? Sleeping bag, okay? And also these parts that go on to the tent. So let's do the sleeping bag first. You see that it has these score lines here. So we're going to fold it like here. And there's also a score line right here that's going to fold this way. So this, to me, indicates that it's probably about the size of a gift card. So I think that that's what this is meant to be. So if you have somebody who likes to do a lot of hiking or camping, maybe you give them a gift card to, I don't know, what's the name of that place? High Sierra, whatever it is, and then you put it together like this, and here is this piece that, and you put the gift card in there. So let's just put that together. Put the glue on the flaps like this. Okay, and keep dropping my glue. Okay, so again, you guys will do it better. I'm kind of rushing because I want to get to that last card. And so here we are. So that is going to become your sleeping bag where you would put in, I don't know, you'd tuck in a gift card or maybe $100 bill. Wouldn't you love that? Okay, now this piece here, before we adhere it, it actually goes on the front instead of on the back like the other ones. And you'll see that it has score lines here and here, and then sort of an open flap. So I kind of, I was like, okay, wonder what that's all about. And so started to think about it. And first I thought, you know, if you make the score lines sort of just for depth, right? Like this, and you sort of attach it here, but without folding, I think that's kind of cool. It gives it a little bit of depth, but then the trees are sort of up here and shh, Teddy. So I think that maybe it's supposed to be like this to indicate that the tent is separate from the trees, okay? But I still think that you would glue the trees on to the back. I think it's just for depth. I would not put glue on this side, but I would put it here, here, and on the bottom. And I'm going to tell you why. So, oh, Teddy Bear is really chatty today, barking at something. Oh, it might be the compost guy. He might be here. Okay, so there is our first one, and you see that it opens like this, and there actually are embellishment pieces that go on either side so that it defines the, where is my... There are two pieces that go here. So there's the tent, and this, I suppose, is the screen part of the tent. And we'll just put that on there. Like this. Oh, you know what it is? It's Owen's home, working from school from home today. And I told them that he had to go out and put the compost out before 10 o'clock when they come. That's what it is. And so they're barking at their own boy. Okay, so these are cute little pieces and extras. So I guess the thing that I was thinking about this is I thought, well, you need something here, right? Because, oh, well, let me get to that in a second. All right, so there are two other pieces here. And so this one goes here, and this is where the fire is going to be. So cute. Hold on, I switched that over. So this is the fire. But then you have the middle piece, which normally we put, right? We put it on the other side. And so that way when it closes, you can see these trees like this, right? And give it some sort of like really thick, deep in the woods kind of a feel to it. And so I was like, well, then what about in the middle of the card? Do we want to put the sleeping bag in there? Now I went back and I looked at the handbook, which, by the way, these handbooks are available online, and you'd go to cricut.com/handbooks. They're not super helpful, but they help a little bit. So, they're the old handbooks that used to come when you'd buy them as cartridges, okay? You're kind of out of luck when it comes to the newer stuff, because the newer stuff doesn't have handbooks. But these are older images, so that's what we're working on, so you can find the handbook on there. So I went back and looked at the handbook, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to put it here, right? Go fast, Rita. Go faster. And then when it folded, isn't that just so clever? And then when you open it up, there's your tent. So, and I didn't, because I didn't press that on there. Good. You're going to do better than I am, right? Okay. So, oh, there's our other piece for a tent. So I'm thinking, okay, what do we do about the sleeping bag, right? And when I looked at the handbook, it said to put the sleeping bag inside here. So you're supposed to lift these pieces up and put the sleeping bag in there like this, which, okay, that works too. And it would hold there really well. And maybe that's why there are those score marks there. But I also like it here. I don't know. I kind of like it here because, like, sleeping bag, and this seems rather plain. And I don't know, maybe if I were going to put, like, some sort of sentiment, like, go for a hike or go take a hike or something like that, maybe I would put this in here. But for these ones today, I'm going to just stick it onto the middle. So you have a choice there on that. Okay? And you went camping in somebody's backyard. Oh, that's so much fun. Isn't that fun? I love camping. I don't do it that often. My son probably would really love it, but I don't know. Sleeping on the ground is not for me, and I don't have any of the equipment anymore. So and I ended up sleeping on the ground. We actually did go camping at my friend's place once. We had a tent and stuff, but it was really uncomfortable sleeping. If I had like everybody else has with the, RVs and everything else, then maybe I would reconsider. But right now, I'm just too old to be doing the camping thing. All right, so this is the last piece, which is the belly band, right? Which is shaped like twigs, which is really cute, but it's also very, very tiny. And so this goes like this on top of that belly band twig, just like this. All right, then we fold our card, and this one goes this way. Fold it inward like this, and at first I thought, oh, maybe it would close on its own, but it doesn't. You would have to just kind of make it look like it's sort of hugging the other side, or but it's clever. It's really clever. So that is the camping one, which I probably just glued the belly band onto the card. I should not have done that, but I did. Oh yeah, I'm getting sloppy. Should not do that. Anyway, getting sloppy so I can show you more cards in one session. I know a lot of times I just show you one card in a session, but I don't know, lately with all of these cards, I just want you to see that there are a lot of different styles for this. Okay, so for these, so Sandra's asking about the belly band. For these, I did not need to increase the size. The ones we did yesterday, I did need to increase the size. But this one, I did not. They were thankfully long enough. And so this, you give this to someone, they open it up like this. I have the tent on wrong, but you guys know, right? And I just think that's really clever. Really, really clever card that someone came up with. So those are our 4 Z-fold. There are other Z-fold cards out there on Design Space, and I promise I will go and show you them or give you links to them, but I just ran out of time yesterday. Okay, so here they are. We've got a really adorable Old West themed one. I really love that. Cinderella, camping, and a pretty skyline. This one is the easiest of all 4. And then, of course, we have the envelope that comes with them. Okay, so let us just quickly move on because we're hitting that time of day to this, because I want to get this. I want to get this done. And if you have to run, that's fine. Just watch the replay. Okay. So this is the pinwheel card that we did not do on Monday, and when I got it together, I realized it was super thick. So I wanted to try an alternative. So it's really thick, and it's hard to kind of have it go down. I mean, I've trained it now to make it easier. And so I'm not saying don't cut it out in cardstock, but if you had a thinner paper, you could do that. Or in my case, I used this patterned vinyl. This is a Natalie Milan. I think it's Juneberry, but I might be wrong. So what I did was there were 3 color of these. So there's one, there's the second, and there's the third. And I cut this all out in the vinyl and put it together. So I wanted to show you how to put it together. today really quickly. Okay, so these 3 pieces are in paper. You can't avoid the paper on this, you know, because it's a card. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold at all of the score lines. This is a heavy score line card because of it's a pinwheel, and so we're folding, and it's like every 2 petals. And what that does is it creates like a hexagon in the middle, and it's very similar. See, so there's the hexagon, and these are the triangles, like from the watermelon fruit salad one. And then on these side petals, you're going to pinch them, but we're not going to fold. And they pinch at the halfway mark. It's a little bit a little difficult to do this part. Pinch like this, and you actually will have chance to repinch these later when you put on the vinyl, but you kind of need it for the vinyl. Okay, so here's I'm showing you the inside part, and there's the pinchy part. So this comes here. This also has like lifts here to go here, and there's your hexagon, right? This is the way, I think that, nope. This way. So this goes on, and you would, I think, you don't have to glue this part up. And in fact, I think it's better that way, to be honest. I glued it down and it kept lifting. So personally, I think I would just not glue it the next time. And then this piece goes in here, and it fits in where the flat part, and then it goes circular, flat, you know. And this goes here. And then you're done with the gluing at this point. Come on, Rita. All right. Okay. All right. So then we have our pieces, which I cut out. I did not score, and I cut out on in the pattern paper. So let's start with the smallest piece, which is this little thing. And it looks kind of a little bit like a butterfly or something, I guess. And these go here on the outside, on the round part of the petal in the back, okay? And if it helps you, where we pinched it, you can sort of make sure that this part, the point is on that line where we pinched it. We'll have an opportunity to fold this later, but I just really felt like it did not need scoring because it's vinyl, and you'll notice that this is a lot more flexible than doing it with the paper. I noticed it anyway. So let us go here, and last piece here. So while you have it on the back, you put all those. Then you're going to take these ones that to me look like tulip petals, and they are going to get put on the stars right here. Okay? And you see that it's starting to take shape. When you fold it up, you're going to see both of these colors. It's just really pretty. And so you would go and do this all. Almost done on the back anyway. There's only actually one other piece to put it together on the front. Okay. right, so it's really pretty, right? I mean, it looks really, really pretty. You see when it folds up, it even looks prettier. Okay, so then flip it over, and then these are your pieces for the inside. This really makes it look jazzy. This also has these little holes in it, so it kind of looks really interesting visually as well. But you could, if you wanted to, get rid of the holes if you thought it was just a little too much, but not me. I like to gild the lily, and I really like the way that it looked. I did get a chance to catch some of Anna. I wondered if you guys did too. Anna was on the Home Shopping, I think it was Home Shopping Network. Somebody posted it in the group, and she was doing some really beautiful Easter cards, which sort of put a little bug in my ear about doing Easter cards because I love them. And my aunt that's still alive, I only have one. Well, I have two actually. But my aunt that's still alive would really love it. So I got to do that. Easter cards for my aunties. Okay. And you see how quickly this is coming together? It's going to be so easy to fold. That's the point that I'm trying to make. So if you really thought it was too bulky, other way. And of course, you guys, you know, you'll be a little more careful than I am in placing these pieces. And you might choose different patterned paper, patterned vinyl. But I thought this was a good alternative to patterned paper and made it a lot less thick. So then you would put your sentiment in there, and then you would, and the first time it's a little bit tricky. You're going to just make sure you push in at the at this triangle piece on the outside. Okay, so here I am pushing in at the triangle piece, and then just kind of rescoring it. And then this is where the pinchy part on this part you have to do again. So that's why, you know, you don't have to be very precise about it the first time around. But so I'm pushing in on these triangle pieces. And you guys can do this, all right? This is not, you know, magic. That's the point that I'm trying to make, is that you can do this in paper, you can do it whatever you have. And it is not difficult. It's not magic. It's just knowing how to do it. That's all. And I'm folding at that triangle and folding. So the first time you do it, it's a little uncomfortable, but then you get better at it. Believe me. Practice makes perfect, right? Okay. So I'm just doing this last one, and then I'm going to fold. Just want to fold here. Okay. So then, once you have all of those score lines and you've got your triangle sort of folded well, you pinch them all in. Okay? You pinch them all in, and you might have to go back and sort of redo this, but okay. And then you start moving the petals down to make the pinwheel, which I've messed up here, but why did I mess it up? Oh, I know why. Because I didn't fold this at the halfway mark, and I should have, and it caused a problem. All right. Okay. All right, so pinching in at all of those triangles, this is what it should look like. And then you're going to flatten the petals all the way around like this. And there, you'll see, there's our outside. Remember, we put some on those triangles on the outside, and then we put them on the petal edges. So there is that. And then when you open it up, that's what you get. So I think it's really beautiful. So so I would consider, I would encourage you to try this. And I will make sure that you have this particular file. I did size it to I think I sized it to 11 inches. because I liked the size, the end size of it. So that is this card made with patterned vinyl, and it is much easier to fold even after having been folded many times. This still is kind of thick, so if you don't like the feel of that, then try it out with the patterned. So cute, right? Anyway, all right. Whew, I keep talking more and more every day. I don't know, guys. Pretty soon I'll be taking up your whole day. Okay, so that is it for today. We are going to be doing sort of a surprise inside cards tomorrow. There's one that we're going to do that is a little astronaut that kind of comes floating out of his capsule, his space capsule, and there are a couple others. I'm probably going to take it slow and just show you one or two tomorrow. And there's a lot to do this week. There's a lot to do. We've done, 4 cards every day, 4 or 5 cards every day this week, and so there's a lot of cards to make. So don't feel obligated that you have to do them all, but if you do them, definitely post in the group. I want to see what you've come up with. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it, Deborah. Thank you. And we will see you again tomorrow at 9 o'clock for more cards as we come to the conclusion of our card extravaganza. And I could push it into the next week, but I'm not gonna, because I will always love cards and always do cards. So, we'll get them in here, but I wanted to take some time to just focus on cards for a couple of weeks. So thank you, everybody. You're welcome, Joyce. Thanks for coming today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks, Vicki. Bye. Love you too, Renee.